So back in 2004, I was just uh, ending college. I'm an industrial engineer, so I did a lot of sport fishing around my country, Nicaragua, and looked at an opportunity to pack bait for the sport fishing industry in the United States, specifically a bait called ballyhoo, to fish for sailfish and dolphin, which is a nice fish. So we found this opportunity in the Mosquito Keys in Nicaragua to catch this fish, and invested a little bit of my savings at the time, which was nothing, a couple $1,000, and started that business. We successfully packed and froze and exported, a couple containers of that bait, and then in 2007, at the end of 2000, early 2008, that business failed because I think the Great Recession and the oil prices and gas prices skyrocketed, and then we didn't have any market for the bait anymore. So we pivoted that um, we pivoted that operation, which consisted of a couple boats now at the time since 2004, to fish for commercially for snapper in the Caribbean coast. And that was a good move because that morphed into more boats, to the point that we have about 12 boats fishing in the Caribbean coast of Nicaragua for snapper. And then that morphed into having a plant to process our own plant, and then buying also in the Pacific side, and much more than we do today. When we did this company in 2005, correctly, um, both of the founders, me and my partner, did not work full time in the company. So we hired somebody to run it for us. I basically was on top of it because I was working for a company that was in the industry at the time, and doing similar stuff. So that that happened until 2011, when my partner left his job to work in the company and grow it, and then I left my job in end of 2013 to also to help grow the company. And one of the ideas that we had was that for the company to support both of our positions, to actually to make the company bigger, to grow the company, we needed to do something different than we were doing back then, which is the boats and exporting fish. So we leveraged ourselves and looked for financing locally with banks and with private, individuals, and we raised about close to $1 million, and we went into farming shrimp, which is something I knew a little bit about, not much. And we did that for a year and a half, and it was incredibly unsuccessful. Um, it almost bankrupted our company. It drained all our cash and left us with a lot of debts, with the local banks and private individuals, and we almost lost the company. And one of the reasons for the failure was that we thought we knew more than we knew. We actually didn't know anything about the industry, and we hired the wrong people. We just we were way over our heads with the technical aspects and the actual risk that entails. So that's one of the many failures that we've had. So we we didn't have, you know it was so hard that there was days there that we didn't know if we are going to have a company the next day. And I actually had a hard time overcoming it. I had a clinical depression for a couple of months there. I had to get help see a doctor and get therapy. It was a big deal. It's a big deal. We from let's say from early 2015 to early 2016, we were treading water there. But yeah, how did I overcome it? I went to therapy. My family was a lot of support. My wife was tremendous. She was instrumental in helping me get out. I had a support group. I joined EO back in 2004, 2013. Yeah, 2013. So I have a group of 7 forum mates, and they were also instrumental. So I had all this support system that helped me weather it. To get out of the hole, we sold 1/3 of the company to to a to a new partner that could inject us some cash, and that was one of the turning points. The other one was when right after he came along, or not immediately, but soon after he came along, he pushed us to close those farms. So we closed those farms, and that hole just got closed. And we started focusing on the stuff that we knew gave us, you know, sort of that traction that we needed, or that we had before. And I can't pinpoint it exactly, but it was when we knew that we didn't need the farms to grow the company. We just had to find other opportunities. But it was a combination of things: bringing
Yeah,
another
for sure.
partner, closing down the farms, um, seeing that what we did before had opportunity for growth more than what we thought. The proudest I am is that we were able to get out of that hole and not only save the company. We were turning over about $5 million when we were in that hole, or before we got in that hole in 2015. And when we got out of it in 2017, which was like the year we started to take off, we did about $8 million in revenue, and then in 18 we did 14, and then in 19 we did 16. And just seeing that, how we went from 5 and no prospects and about to close our doors, to 14 being profitable, and just getting a handle on our business, that looking back, that transition makes me proud. But it also um, how we transition from being a company that was in disarray, to now a very, I would say, very organized. We have a clear structure, we have a clear rhythm on how we manage the company. There's PMPs for a lot of the stuff. My partner is very anal on PMPs, and he's done a great job in having the controls, the policies, procedures in place, so things like what happened to us back in 2015 don't happen again. I'm also proud of the fact that we have 100 employees, and that means the company is the source of main income for 100 families in Nicaragua, which that's a huge deal down here, huge deal. So I'm proud of that. And we're just I believe, and it's not to pat ourselves in the back, that we although we're back in a third world country, our facilities and our companies first world standards. So 2017 we took off. 2018 was a great year, although 2018 here in Nicaragua, there was a political crisis, and there was violence on the streets, and there was about 4 or 5 months that the country came to a stop, in the sense that there was too much violence for normal business to be conducted. And in spite of that, we kept working and had our best year ever. But one of the projects that we had for 2018 was launching a brand for our seafood to be distributed locally here in Nicaragua. And we delayed that till the end of 2018, and it really took off in 2019, and which is called De La Isla, which is a brand for seafood products that we have in retail stores here in Nicaragua, sort of like the Walmarts and the Price Marts and local supermarkets, and we have a home delivery that we can deliver to your house, and that really took off. And what's next for us is regionalizing that brand. And what I mean by regionalizing, Nicaragua is a small country in Central America, about 6.5 million people, with very very small income per person per capita. We want to regionalize that to Central America, sort of like have De La Isla in all of Walmarts in Guatemala, in El Salvador, Honduras, Costa Rica, Panama. Same for Price Mart, and same for local, countrywide supermarkets that are, insignia in every one of those countries. That's what we want to do. Take that brand all over Central America. There's not one Central American brand in the seafood space that's regionalized, and that's what we want to do. One of the things that we're looking to do is have this discipline that we've able to have in our leadership team, which is weekly meetings, the follow-up that we have and the structure that we have to the different levels of the organization. We grown now, so to the point that we had different levels in the organization. And one of the things I want to leave the company with is that that's permeated to all the levels of the organization. Because at the end of the day, my end game is not to be an executive in the company, and to be able to do it, I have to permeate what we done in the leadership team to the different levels of the organization. I can tell you what I would tell myself if I started again. I think I think once you succeed, if you succeed quickly, then ego takes hold of you. So you gotta watch that out, and keep that in check, because most of my failures have, or the big failure that we had back in 2015 was related to always having success come easy, and not realizing that we were way in over our heads. So keeping your ego in check, one, sort of um, realize and know what you don't know, have be clear of what you don't know, and that's very important. And I think the other one is discipline. Sort of have disciplined people carry out disciplined thought, which means get the best people possible for your organization. Make sure they're in the best job possible for them. Disciplined thought, once you have the best people, make sure you think about and have leave space in your time to think about where you want to go and how you want to get there, you know on a periodical basis, every month, every 3 weeks, whatever it is. Get time to have disciplined thought and disciplined action. Have your weekly meetings. Those are super important. And you know action. It's discipline action. I think that's to me that's key.